Back in Peoria, quarterfinal number 1, Rockford Boylan taking on Notre Dame. Steve Cashel back inside the exhibition hall, but let's go back to Carver Arena right now. Your play-by-play team is Jim Blaney and Norm Van Leer. Gentlemen.
Cash, thank you very much, and we've got a contrast of fast versus slow coming up in our opening game today. Rockford Boylan, they like to keep the pace up, run, press, create turnovers, and their big man, Norm, Demir Krupalia, he's an inside guy, which is kind of an odd guy to highlight for a running team, but he's been leading the team in points and in rebounds throughout the tournament.
No doubt about it. If they get the points up, over around 50, 60, whatever, they're going to win this basketball game. If it's lower, then we got another story, as you'll bring that up.
And for Niles Notre Dame, they want to slow things down, make a lot of passes, frustrate Rockford Boylan in this game. Nate Bronski is their leading scorer, and really how he goes will determine how successful Notre Dame's going to be.
Not only that, if Notre Dame gets out in a lead and they have no clock, the shot clock that is, on the high school level, they will hold that ball, and then if they get under 50, believe me, they will win this basketball game.
So it's fast versus slow. Rockford Boylan coming up against Niles Notre Dame. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip of our first quarterfinal game coming up right after this timeout. Back at Carver Arena, we're getting ready for our first quarterfinal game. Boylan against Notre Dame. First of 4 games coming today. We'll get down to the semifinals, which will be held tomorrow here at Carver Arena. We'll crown a champion tomorrow night. And this half of the bracket is a little bit, I guess, of what you could call the no respect bracket, because everybody's talking about what's going to be going on tonight. Time now for our national anthem, and singing the anthem today is David Kim. He's a student from Homewood Flossmoor High School.
Student of Homewood Flossmoor sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Of all the things you will see at the state tournament, David Kim may have performed the most difficult, singing the national anthem in a full arena with no accompaniment. You've got no help out there. A great job in the anthem by David Kim from Homewood Flossmoor High School. Now it's time for the starting lineups for today's game. Here's our PA announcer, Paul Herzog.
Basketball fans, on behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the city of Peoria, welcome to America's original March Madness. Today's Class AA quarterfinal game in Carver Arena features the Rockford Boylan Titans with a record of 29-2, and the Niles Notre Dame Dons a record of 22-7. Before we meet the starting lineups, let's meet the rosters of each team. For Rockford Boylan, number 3, a guard, Trevor Brown. Number 4, forward, Brandon Parker. Number 10, a guard, Danny DeMario. Number 11, a guard, Jeff Myers. Number 20, a guard, Phil Potter. Number 21, a guard, Kyle Nelson. Number 33, a forward, Roy Sackmaster. Number 45, a forward, 45, Chris Harvey. Number 50, a forward, Dan Newman. And number 52, a forward, Adam Ottaviano. Those are the Titans, the non-starters for Rockford Boylan. For Niles, Notre Dame. Number 22, a guard, Brian Weber. 24, a guard, Eric Schonecker. 25, a guard, Bill Bessenhofer. Number 30, a forward, Kevin McConey. Number 31, a guard, Pat Clark. Number 32, a forward, Mike Ugel. Number 40, a forward, John Corcoran. Number 41, a forward, Luke Yano. Number 42, a center, Mark Milkovic. Number 43, a forward, Rocco Pacenti. Number 50, a forward, Mike Sweeney. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for the quarterfinal Class AA. For Rockford Boylan, a 6'2 senior, 00, Craig Hobson. At a forward for Notre Dame, a 6'3 junior, number 21, Kevin Clancy. The other forward for the Titans, a 6'4 senior, 32, Kurt Vavra. The other forward for the Dons, a 6'2 senior, 33, Nate Bronski. The Rockford Boylan center, a 6'7 junior, number 40, Damir Krupalaya. The Notre Dame center, a 6'4 senior, 51, Brian Green. At a guard for Boylan, a 6'2 sophomore, number 12, Joe Tully. At a guard for Notre Dame, a 5'7 senior, number 11, Rick Pike. The other guard for the Titans, a 6'1 senior, 23, Nicholas Zachary. The other guard for the Dons, a 5'11 senior, 23, Dan Jones. Assistant coaches for Rockford Boylan are Kyle Watson, Dave Stockton, and Bob Kavisko. The head coach in his 25th season, 17 at Boylan.
All right, here's another look at the starting lineups for today's game, the first quarterfinal game in the Class AA Boys Basketball Tournament for 1997. First of all, for Rockford Boylan and Coach Steve Gores. He's won 80% of his games as a high school coach. There's the starting lineup brought to you by Country Companies Insurance. And for Niles, Notre Dame, and Denny's Alasco, his record has just gone over 500. They've only in recent years gotten to the point where they get their record over 500 regularly. And he's got him here on the Elite Eight weekend for the first time. Joining us today, baseline is Yvonne Simmons. Yvonne?
They call Rockford Boylan the cardiac kids because of their frantic play. But at 30-2, they're averaging almost 80 points a game and 35 rebounds. It's been working for them. In contrast, Notre Dame is very patient on offense and tenacious on defense. They're averaging 52 points a game and 23 rebounds. And it's really on them to control the tempo of this game. And Jim and Norman, probably the most obvious statement of the tournament, something's really got to give this afternoon.
And you're exactly right, Yvonne. And the officials for today's game, Keith McClellan and Paul Mosley, both from Chicago. And once again, Norm, this is the no respect bracket of the tournament. Everybody in Peoria is talking about the session coming up tonight. Thornton, Peoria Manual, Young, and Hinsdale Central, about those being the best teams in the state. And everybody is seeming to forget about Boylan, Notre Dame, Mount Vernon, and the schools playing in this half of the bracket.
Well, the respective coaches, Zelasco and along with Gores, I tell you right now, they like that because it dies and it kills the whole situation of talking about their teams. And you come in here and prepare and you get ready. And I'm telling you right now, that's just one of those things. You got to have some type of respect if you are indeed at this point in this tournament.
We just had the ceremonial tip. Brian Green got elbowed in the eye by Damir Krupalaya on the ceremonial tip.
Yeah. Might have been out of design.
Nick Krupp is ready to go.
All right. Notre Dame gets the opening tip, and Boylan Rockford is in the man-to-man.
Rick Pike with the basketball. Green gets the opening shot of the game. Krupalia comes down with the rebound.
And a good play to open, a give and go, and it was an excellent play, but came away with nothing. Now let's see if the up-tempo can start right here. You see the double team.
And picked off inside by Green. He had it knocked away by Krupalia. Now Notre Dame moves it up the floor. And this is what we're not supposed to see out of these guys. Kevin Clancy on the end of a break getting two.
Yeah, usually they slow it down. They got tricked on that one.
Nicholas Zachary, the leading scorer this season for Rockford Boylan, puts up his shot. It wouldn't go. We have a rebound on Krupalia on the loose ball, so that's Krupalia's first.
I'm not so sure Notre Dame wants to show that, hey, we get out, we get a lead, and then we'll hold it and make you play defense and maybe bore you to death to the point of not being really into this ball game. So, you're right, Boylan does not hesitate bringing it up the court.
Oh, man, they move it quickly.
It's Paul Westhead style, huh?
I love it. I remember, Norm, I went to a game in the NCAA tournament one year, Wyoming against Loyola Marymount, and at that time, not too many people had heard of Loyola Marymount. The score was 119-115 in overtime. It was the most amazing college basketball game I had ever seen. Boylan looking for their first 2 points of the game. Joe Tully rings them up, a 6'2 sophomore.
Well, I don't know. I'm a firm believer what got you here is what you need to stick with. And I do believe that. And because that's your strong point, and I think it'd be a mistake for Notre Dame to try to run with Boylan.
Game tied at 2.
Man-to-man by Boylan.
We have yet to see Notre Dame be really patient on offense, but I get a feeling we're going to see it here. Remember, there is no shot clock in Illinois high school basketball.
Well, I tell you what, when you're patient, you better handle the ball well, and you better hit free throws. That's the name of the game right there.
Kevin Clancy didn't like what he saw. Now Dan Jones with the ball. Jones wants to go inside. Dangerous pass to Green. Krupalia had him covered. Three-pointer on the way. That's good. Rick Pike.
Not hesitating. They're taking their shots when they have them, and right now it seems to work. And Notre Dame's in a zone right now. And that's not bad for a team that likes to fire it up. And I tell you what, Notre Dame's looking for their fast break. They're not slowing it down at all.
Bronski to Pike. In the corner, baseline drive. Clancy got rid of it, and we get an offensive foul on Clancy, his first.
A little out of control, going to the baseline. A little out of control, but a good move to get the start. You see the replay. You get a nice move to the hoop, but tad out of control, and definitely a good call on the pass off.
Boylan trailing by 3 as you get a look at Steve Gores.
Now Notre Dame's in the man-to-man.
Boylan with 1 basket so far. Krupalia got behind everybody and got 2.
That was too easy. Now, I figured Boylan would come out pressing because they want the tempo to go up, but they better watch behind them because they get the ball over the front line with the press, and they got numbers from Notre Dame, but they hold it up.
Green going one-on-one with Krupalia, made a nice move to the baseline, but Krupalia stayed right with him. Pike thought about firing it up, but Zachary got out quickly on defense. Ooh. Pike up, couldn't get the roll. Boy, he went by Zachary Norm really, really quickly. And I think Zachary may have been the most surprised guy in the building.
I think so. I think you see right here, you just kind of, whoa, wow, where did you go? And then you got a little dipsy-doodle, a little spin, move, up, dip, bop, but he missed. And you get an offensive foul on the play, on the missed shot. But yes, you better be careful. Pike has the opportunity to get to the hoop, and he will take it.
Brian Green picked up the foul on the other end. Kurt Vavra, his first shot of the game, that wouldn't go. Almost tipped up and in by the Niles Notre Dame players. And then the rebound and the stick back by Joe Tully. He has 4 points in the game.
Any team that loves to score a lot of points will instinctively and they'll be on the boards because they want points.
Boylan's on top by 1 for the time being. That's going to be on Krupalia.
Good fake, and pump fake inside, and that's drew the foul.
It's a big foul, Norm. We're only 3:50 into the, or 3:10 into the game, and Krupalia has already picked up 2 fouls.
Well, that's being aggressive, trying to block shots, and once again, this team's running. I think they're surprising Boylan by going up, doing the things they're doing instead of holding the ball. So therefore, you know, somewhat of a surprise with their strategy at approaching this opening part of this game.
Brian Green will get an opportunity to go to the free throw line, a 50% free throw shooter. Brandon Parker coming into the game for Rockford Boylan. Notre Dame trailing by 1.
Brandon Parker plays guard forward and he's a sophomore. A team that plays the patient game, Jim, you got to go to the free throw line, or any team for that matter, but when you're playing a patient game and you want to build leads and then we show no indication of doing it, you need to go to the free throw line and build up and get those points.
Green ties the game at 6-6. 4:50 remaining here in the first quarter. This is the opening quarterfinal game in the boys class AA tournament. It's 6-6, Notre Dame and Boylan. Game tied up at 6-6, and a lot of interested observers here in Peoria this weekend, and among them a lot of coaches, including Illini coach Lon Kruger. There's a lot of talent to pick from in these 8 teams here this weekend, Norm.
I tell you what, last week wasn't a bad group of kids either.
And congratulations one more time to the Warsaw Wildcats, who in a game everybody is still talking about, won the Class A title last weekend on this floor.
Outstanding game.
Jumper from the baseline, that won't go. Rebound and the stick back put in by Joe Tully.
Too many second shots by Boylan at this particular time, and Notre Dame better answer that if they want to stay in control and be around this game. Because that happens too often. That could hurt you down the stretch run.
Boylan leading by a pair.
Good ball movement. Showing some very enthusiastic movement out there right now. Some excitement.
Pike open for a 3. He's already got 1 in the game. Missed that. The rebound pulled down by Nate Bronski, and he goes up and gets 2.
And both teams are getting second shots after long shots, layups, or whatever it is.
3 on the way by Tully, and he has been red hot so far in the game. He averages 10.3 points per game. He already has 9 in this contest. 9 of the 11 points by Rockford Boylan.
And I'm telling you, they do not hesitate to put the ball on. It's pretty to watch. It's an exciting game to watch that style of play. No doubt about it.
I love it, Norm. It's one of my favorite styles of basketball to watch. Unfortunately, it takes extreme conditioning to be able to play that style.
And also some shooters and the mentality to play it. Not all teams can do that with the type of personnel they have, and Notre Dame is one of those teams, I feel.
Clancy lost the ball out of bounds. Last touch by one of the Titans. It will stay in possession of Notre Dame.
You know, a good friend of ours and a guy that works for the Score Radio back in Chicago. This is Mike North's style of ball here. Because he will not give it up. He runs, he shoots from anywhere.
My goodness, an NBA three-pointer taken by Nate Bronski. That wouldn't go down. Boylan looking to add to a 3-point lead. Tully, why not? He's red hot. Keep giving him the ball. He's got 11 in the game.
And what offsets the outside shooting is the fact that he can go to the hole like he just did there. And he did. He took the baseline and laid it right up. Notice from that left side to the center. It was a beautiful move on the baseline.
5-point lead for Boylan. Pike trying to get away from Zachary. Bronski, jumper. That one won't go. And the only one there for the rebound was Zachary, although Roy Sackmaster was standing right there with him.
Well, Zachary's not really giving Pike a lot of respect for his drive and hit. He hit the one shot. So he's kind of relaxed with him out there and playing the defense.
Tully is the hot hand, and they were trying to get the ball to him. He made his cut to the hoop. The ball thrown out of bounds. Turnover on Rockford Boylan.
And I tell you, a team that's up-tempo like that, you usually get a lot of turnovers with their respective teams for plays just like that. Just constant moving, and every now and then you're going to misfire.
Notre Dame looking to chop into a 5-point lead right now. Clancy, jumper on the money for a 3.
And he needed that because they don't want to fall behind too far in this. And I tell you what, that was a nice three-pointer. Good patience to get the shot off.
Going the other way, Sackmaster a little long. Kevin Clancy comes away with the rebound. A 2-point bucket will tie the game at 13. Brian Green was trying to get the attention of his coach Dennis Alaska going up the floor. And might have been Green asking for a breather.
Well, this fast pace, he's not used to it maybe. They're both going up, and Notre Dame's not showing any wares of they're going to play the slow-down game. And they're looking at taking the first good opportunity shot.
Notre Dame being patient on this trip down the floor. Pike has it in the corner. Gets it out to Clancy. He just made a 3-pointer. Instead, he'll drop it back. Pike now. That's for the lead. Got it.
Nice play. Good basketball. Good 2-on-2 game. You give me, I give you, and I will deuce. And actually has a trade.
Second 3 of the game for Pike. That one by Zachary is off, and a nice job of coming in and stealing away the rebound by
Yeah, it's a big foul too, Jim, because they had a fast break in numbers going the other way for Notre Dame, and there was a reach-in foul.
Notre Dame so far in this game 3 of 5 from 3-point range.
And a team that's not characteristic of like putting it up at any particular time like they're doing, but they have. And you see the play right there. You give it to me, I give it back to you, and hey, we got a little team thing going here.
Kurt Vavra picks up the foul. Notre Dame leading 14-13. Norm, yeah, it's
a surprise.
Well, yeah, after what we saw last weekend, should we have expected anything different?
And no doubt, this is tournament. This is championship play, baby.
Jumper from the corner, rings in and out. The rebound pulled down by Brandon Parker. Now Boylan with an opportunity to take the lead.
What do they call them? The what is that? Cardiac kids.
Danny DeMario goes to the rack, couldn't get the ball to fall. Tully tapped at the rebound. He couldn't put it away. Turn around and stick back by Vavra wouldn't go. Parker battles for the rebound. Off-balance shot that almost went in. And then what a great tip coming off of the weak side by Roy Sackmaster.
One thing I noticed about Boylan's team, all 5 men were on the boards hitting. So if the ball's out at any particular time, hey, you got a running game going on. Because usually you play somebody back on defense. All 5 men were on the boards that time, trying to get that deuce.
Final minute of the opening quarter. 35 seconds left. You would certainly expect Notre Dame to hold the ball out and go for the final shot of the quarter. They can take the lead with a bucket here.
I'll tell you what, at this pace, even though they've been going up and down, if they continue to shoot like this, you're looking at a Notre Dame favorite type game around the 60-point mark.
Yep, exactly, Norm. Bill Bessenhofer with the basketball for Notre Dame. Now Kevin Clancy. 8 seconds remaining in the quarter. Bessenhofer on the baseline, goes by everybody, tried one pass too many. Parker came away with the loose ball. We'll get one launched right at the end. DeMario for 3. Wow, that came close.
He was in range, but just not long enough.
But I think you would have to say for Niles Notre Dame, even though they're trailing at the end of one quarter, they held Boylan to 15 points in the opening segment of the game. We're back with the second quarter right after this timeout. The Notre Dame fans are hoping Dan Jones is the answer, especially since he's playing on a bit of a gimpy ankle. He injured his ankle in the sectional final. He did not start in the super sectional victory over Deerfield, but he did start in the game today.
He's not going to miss this game, right?
No way, baby. You're healthy.
Yeah.
You play until they take you off the floor. Turnover on Boylan.
He approached that going after that basketball. Little wrong. Bronski could have had that, but he hesitated a little bit.
Sackmaster, the 3 wouldn't go. Rebound pulled down by Bill Bessenhofer.
His body's all over the floor.
Bessenhofer, no-look pass, and one of the guys who wasn't looking was Sackmaster, unfortunately.
Tell you what, they're a little, it's a little too aggressive in their approach right now. Why don't you settle down? Because they want to go and do it right now. And that's causing the turnovers in this particular time.
Titans with some sweet shooting in the opening half. Tully led all scores with 11 in the opening half.
Well, they're full of confidence. Both these teams are so confident.
In the lane, a beautiful block by McConey. Then the ball came right back to Sackmaster. Now, Ryan Sackmaster plays football at Rockford Boylan, too. And with a name like Sackmaster, you'd think he'd be like a defensive end rushing the quarterback. No way. He's the backup quarterback. He also pitches on the baseball team. You got to make that kid a defensive end or an outside linebacker.
A name like that, you got to phrase that one up, baby.
Of course, Boylan went deep into the football playoffs as well. They have a fine football team up there. Loose ball batted to Danny DeMario. He'll bring it up the floor.
Some schools have winning traditions. As simple as that. They believe in it and they stick with it. And in your neighborhood, your community, your heroes are usually your high school people.
Thing is, Norm, too, success in one arena usually carries over to another. Sackmaster couldn't hit that 3. Tipped up and kept alive by Dan Newman, who traveled with the basketball. The ball will go back to Niles Notre Dame. They're down 3, 6:33 remaining here in the second quarter.
I didn't like that call, but either you got to get hammered or something with that one. He came out with a good rebound and he called traveling on that. That was a tough call right there.
Kevin Clancy getting set to check back in for Niles Notre Dame.
4:33, 21 for 33.
A 3-pointer would tie it up at 17. Bill Bessenhofer put it into the corner. Bounce pass inside for Green. Moving the ball very quickly. That's McConey. That shot wouldn't go. Rebound. Hobson had it for a minute. Ball goes out of bounds. And it will stay in possession of Niles Notre Dame.
And that's called one-hand rebounding. You got to get both hands out there and get that rebound on a situation like that. But excellent ball movement by Notre Dame as they peppering around. A little penetration. Kick off to the left side. Penetration kicked in. And they are definitely passing to each other well.
Bessenhofer 3-pointer that hit the front of the rim. No good. Nicholas Zachary with the rebound, put it up the floor. Dan Newman goes up. Dan Newman puts Boylan up by 5.
And a good, smart timeout by the coach as he is not going to let this game get out of hand. Keep his team close.
5-point lead for Rockford Boylan. 6 minutes exactly to go here in the second quarter. One big factor for Rockford Boylan is that Demir Krupalia is on the bench with 2 fouls he picked up early. Norm, he is the rarest of birds in the world. He is a Los Angeles Clippers fan. He and Billy Crystal are the only 2 people I can think of that will admit to being Clippers fans.
Yeah, being a fan is one thing, but to admit to it. Man, the Clippers? Mercy. Blessing.
Of course, you know where guys that cause trouble go to, don't you?
Yeah.
They go to Clippers.
Yeah, send us to the Clippers. Hey, he has a good chance of making that team.
Right now.
That's probably why he likes him.
Turnover on Rockford Boylan. Ball goes back to Niles Notre Dame. Inside points in the game, Boylan, that's what you expect when you run it up the floor. You're looking for easy hoops.
Yeah, there's a big difference in scoring inside points and points in the paint. That's because you're running the ball sometimes. Sometimes you had a half-court game, you feed it low. Good defense in that time.
McConey tried to feed Green. Green touched it last. It goes out of bounds, and Craig Hobson and Rockford Boylan will now try and answer their lead.
And Craig Hobson's very active down there. Quick jumper. You know, some people can jump, but it's a quick jump. You just spring up quick on the reaction play like that, and that was just good defense right there.
And here's the danger zone for Niles Notre Dame if they fall behind by a bunch. It's like a team running the wishbone in football, Norm. If you run this kind of offense and you're very deliberate, if you fall behind big, you're in trouble.
And also, if you don't come up with second rebounds, if this is a steady dive that's going to happen here in Boylan's favor, Notre Dame will be in trouble also.
Hobson 3 wouldn't go. Ball batted around and kept alive. Green came up with it. And Hobson went down hard in the transition up the floor. Clancy tried to save the basketball, but stepped on the end line, and Hobson is going to have to come out of the game. You know, last week in the Class A tournament, Norm, we saw bodies flying all over the place.
Well, there's a lot of activity and intensity in this game, but last week I thought was more the banging, the hitting, the football style that you bring to the game. And good clean, don't get me wrong. Right now, the intensity of just running up and down the floor right now is more in play than it was last week with that physical play in the A championship games.
And to give you an example of the effort of these teams, most of the injuries occurred in transition. There's 2 points on the baseline.
You're in my way. Get out of the way. I want to run.
Exactly. Many times you'll see guys get hit in the paint, but last week in the early part of this game, we've seen a couple guys go down at half court just in transition.
Jim, there's not been time to get in the paint the way they're shooting basketball today.
21-14. Rockford Boylan leading Notre Dame by 7. Notre Dame, they need some points this trip.
It's a danger point. You got to come up with something here. There you go.
Nate Bronski.
That keeps you right in there. It keeps you right in the game, especially a 3.
Going the other way, Phil Potter. Nice look on the baseline, and give the 2 to Joe Tully, who has been outstanding so far in this game.
Got the Charles Barkley look, my man.
Yeah.
The Phil Potter, huh?
He's got to shave the head there, though, Norm. Looks a little like our director, Bulldog Turner, too.
Yeah, he does. A little Devo action. Man-to-man, that's what Boylan's playing.
So in the last 2 trips, Notre Dame has shaved a point off the lead. Green, he was hammered inside. Ball knocked free. Pike came up with it. Pike has some room. He'll go down the lane. Beautiful dish to Green.
Pike's got a little game going to that hoop. I'm telling you, he penetrated well. But here comes Boylan.
Zachary misses.
They're like the green wave of the Celtics of the past years.
And now it's down to a 4-point game. Yeah, they don't want to look like the Celtics this year.
No, it's just those green uniforms, a wave. They're coming down.
You really look like the Clippers this year than the Celtics.
And the Nets.
Pike, come on out, play some D on me.
Good ball movement once again.
Clancy 3, that one's off, and what a great job of screening off on the rebound by Kurt Barber on Green.
A couple of Clancy's shots has been long. Just a tad long, not short, but long the other side of the rim instead of front lip of the rim.
Now, big foul for Niles Notre Dame. Green picks up his 2nd personal foul.
Did you see right here the replay? Pass down low. Real slap of Rick Jackson right there. Good ball movement once again. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed in the manner of how Boylan gets down and hit their open teammates with no hesitation.
Kevin McConey, a 6'3" sophomore, is into the game now, replacing Brian Green after the 2nd foul.
And there's one thing about that type of game, Jim, that when you're running the court, knowing that you will receive the ball, you will get to that open space and that open area to get that shot.
Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Hey guys, Kevin Clancy for Notre Dame, number 21 in September, shattered a bone in his arm, his left arm. He has 2 steel plates and 14 screws in there. They thought he was out for the season. He was ready for the opener in November. He's played in all 30 games, and he's been the second leading scorer.
And Yvonne, he was back by Thanksgiving, which his coach Denny Zelasco was just amazed that he was able to rehab that quickly.
Oh man, well, you tell me how many pros would have that, would work their way back in there and play all games.
It's a compound fracture of his arm. Pike down the lane, got 2.
I'm getting more impressed with him as the game goes. I tell you what, he's making things happen with this team, and I think they've taken him for granted. Beautiful pass.
Zachary with an absolute bullet on the baseline. It was knocked away by Nate Bronski, his first personal foul. Zachary really had that thing humming.
He threaded the needle on that.
Now let me tell you something, Norm. You shouldn't be surprised by that because he's a pitcher on the baseball team.
Well, he threw a curve there, or better yet, a fastball. No gypsy doodle movement in that one. That one just went right there, say about 90 miles an hour.
Brandon Parker on the line, a 62% free throw shooter.
Obviously, I guess he's left-handed, but the way he threw that ball, he was left-handed. So, man, can he throw that one.
Here's Pike on the other end, Norm.
I like this. I'm going to the hoop, a little head fake, a little ball fake. Got the mop, he got it flying, he got the red hair going back with the new hairstyle of the 90s.
Clancy rebound, and Pike's a baseball player as well. As a matter of fact, he hit .309 last year, and he is weighing scholarship offers from DePaul, Beloit, and Valpo to play baseball.
Is he a catcher?
I believe he's a shortstop, Norm.
Oh, he's Freddie Patek size, huh?
Bronski hits his second three-pointer of the game, and we've got a one-point ball game, folks.
Notre Dame made a brilliant comeback.
Zachary, who has been quiet, couldn't hit, ball batted around. And it came out briefly to Dan Jones. Zachary took it right back. Will it be offensive or defensive?
No,
it's going to be defensive on Bronski, his second.
Didn't have position, and I tell you what, he had a golden opportunity to get a fast break, but a good steal. As you see, Zachary just stole the ball, made something happen. Now he gets to the free throw line. Look at this play. Stole it, come back, make my move, I got you. Definitely did not have position, and he got fouled with that. Now he goes to the free throw line and see if he can take advantage of that. Well, obviously he's not. He's taking the ball out of bounds.
Now, speaking of baseball players, Craig Hobson may be the best baseball player in this game. He's regarded as a major league prospect, pitcher and center fielder. Here he goes for the three-pointer. That one rattled in and out. Not only that, he was the starting quarterback on the football team until injuring his wrist in September.
True all-around athlete.
Well, we got some athletes in this game.
Well, you get to this level, I tell you what, they deal with it.
Niles, Notre Dame. Pike, this is for the lead. Hit the back of the rim. Nice rebound pulled down by Bronski.
This game's picking up tempo, and the crowd's starting to get into this game.
Because Notre Dame has been patient. They've made up a 7-point deficit. Boylan only 1 of 7 from behind the arc, while Notre Dame is lighting it up, 5 of 12.
Everything Notre Dame or Boylan is getting is inside the paint, either fast break or penetration drives or second shots off of missed shots. That 1 for 7 can be misleading because they're getting so many second shots they're putting in. Or it can be leading up to the fact that they're rebounding offensively and getting shots because they're not shooting that well outside.
A bucket gives Notre Dame the lead.
Showing their patience right now. Scout front. Let's set something up. Don't lose your dribble. You can't do that.
Bronski did lose the dribble, but he had it tapped away, so he gets a second opportunity at it.
I tell you what, Boylan is like piranhas. They go after everything, reaching, tackling, going for it. They mean going in a good.
Look at Hobson. Hobson saying, "Come on, man, bring it on," and Bronski nearly did.
See that penetration, kick back out, make you play defense, and believe me, you can get definitely tired of doing that.
Final minute of the second quarter. Let's see if Notre Dame decides just to hold the ball for the rest of the quarter. I don't think it'd be that bad of a move.
And I'll tell you what, if this is the pace and the scoring that's going to dictate where the game's going, this definitely is in favor of Notre Dame. You're looking at a 50-point ball game if they hold true to the second half in the way they're scoring.
Which plays right into the hands of Niles Notre Dame.
No doubt about it.
They need to be careful here not to get a turnover. Pike.
Here's where you lose your patience. You play the defense, then you commit a foul.
And exactly, Norm, the words were no sooner out of your mouth than Zachary gets tagged for a foul.
You get impatient. And usually at this level with these young kids, that is a big thing. Now, usually when you go to a higher level, you don't have that because usually you got shot clocks, Jim. So this is a tough thing to teach, and especially young kids at this point.
Green is going to come into the game for the final 16.1 seconds, so that gets some post play and a little hide in. Kevin McConey will go to the bench.
Just give it to Pike, let him penetrate.
That's just the name of the game.
Pike has the ball. Let's see what he does. 12 seconds left.
You go with 5, so no one else will get a shot. Give it back to him.
Clancy aggressively guarded by Parker. Bronski had it knocked out of bounds.
Let me tell you something.
2 seconds left.
That was a display in the last few seconds of excellent, excellent defense on Boylan's part. Very active.
On the baseline, thrown up at the buzzer, and out of bounds is the call.
0.8 seconds. Give me a long bomb. Hopefully somebody can. They're looking for the lob.
Zachary has made 67 three-pointers here. Let's see where they go with the ball. Instead, DeMario. Tell you what, he's drawn back for it on the 2 end-of-quarter heaves. Not too bad.
All these athletes are playing well, and they have a sight of where that is. We've had awfully close shots in closing seconds in the last couple weeks.
At the break, Boylan leads Niles Notre Dame by 1. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons. She's standing by with Steve Gores.
Coach Gores, a couple of concerns for you. Kapalia's on the bench and also defending the 3, which is how Notre Dame is getting back in this game.
Yes, it is. Lost my voice for a minute. I wonder why. You know. Well, Kapalia's back in the game now. He had 2 fouls. We had to save him at halftime. Make sure we have him for the second half in crunch time. And defending 3 is we're leaving the man to help out too much. We're going to have to stay in front of the ball and stay with our man so they don't get the kickouts and get the easy looks at the basket. And then we have to be a little more prudent on offense and make sure we get the ball inside.
Is there anything that Notre Dame is doing that may be surprising you a little bit?
No, not really. They're playing hard. We knew they'd be very disciplined and they'd work for good shots, and they're doing a very good job.
Okay, good luck second half. Jim, back to you.
Thanks, Yvonne. And Rockford Boylan has to be actually pretty happy because Krapalia was on the bench most of the first half. They still own a 1-point lead, but Niles Notre Dame has this thing going exactly the way they want it. Dennis Velasco and Notre. Ron Simmons standing by with Dennis Velasco. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Coach, Boylan right now has 25 points. They're averaging 80. Are you happy with that?
I'm very happy with that. This is a game that we can win. It's this type of offensive output that is we're comfortable with, and I think we're in a good position.
And quickly, you have to be concerned about rebounding the offensive boards for Boylan.
They've really hurt us on the boards. If we don't do a better job there and we don't convert defensively better, we'll be in trouble. But right now we're looking good, and we haven't played that well yet. So I'm optimistic.
Okay, good luck in second half. Jim, back to you.
And here is why Dennis Velasco is optimistic, because this season, when Niles Notre Dame has held the opposition to 50 points or less, they are undefeated. They are 18-0, and they held Boylan to 25 points in the opening half, so they're right on target.
Right on target, give or take a point or 2 at the end, but at the same time, nice setup, but a good defensive play as Notre Dame turns the ball over. But I tell you what, he's talking about rebound. I don't know, it's not that big of an edge for a team that was as active as they were. They brought that rebound and held it down, 21 to 15.
Kupali is back in the game with his 2 personal fouls. Hobson backing in. Nice move to the hoop.
Now Hobson, I think, in my opinion, has to do a little more of that himself when he gets the ball and go to the hoop, because he has the ability to do so. But that was just a nice, deliberate style way of penetrating to the hoop as opposed to going like gangbusters.
We throw something else at you, too. Niles Notre Dame held Nicholas Zachary, the leading scorer for Boylan, to no points in the opening half. Pike. Kripalias, just get that out of here.
That is a very simple, easy way to negate that situation, because 15 points have been shown by this team, Notre Dame, from the three-point land. If they have outscored them, that being Boylan, 15-3 from three-point land. That's a way to stop it right there. I can tell you that.
Krapalia was just too tall for that one for Pike.
Oh, he came from Chicago to block that one, buddy.
Pike gives up a foot to Krapalia, by the way. Kevin Clancy with the ball, a little high. Nice catch on the baseline by Bronski.
Well, let's see if that'll have an effect on him, because, believe me, when you get a shot blocked like that, if you have an effect, you just hesitate to take the next one.
Clancy passed up the shot on the baseline, then dished it off to Jan Jones.
Good defense, or is it just patient basketball?
A little bit of both, Norm. Clancy, 3, got it.
Well, that's patient basketball. When he got open, he popped it. He popped it.
And the Notre Dame fans responding to the fact we're tied at 27. Krapalia goes to the rack, offensive foul, and that is number 3.
And I don't know if he had total position. I thought he got to the side. He was positioned, don't get me wrong. But see, he went to the side. And I don't know if you can call it because it's not square up as a charge goes. And Napoleon went to the side of him, and he fell back. You got to be squared up on that defensive end to get a charge call, even though he was positioned and ready to accept it. That's a tough call to make because you didn't square up, just run him over. But nonetheless, he's got his third foul.
So what it means is that Dan Newman has to come back into the game for Boylan. Papalia goes to the bench, and that's a big plus for Dennis Delasco and Niles Notre Dame.
And if you went by the scouting report and how things are supposed to go for a game, if you evaluate, everything's fallen in place for Notre Dame at this time.
Yes, it is. Steal by Hobson.
You don't get it like that. Good opportunity. You get a turnover one end, and then you turn around and get it right back. You don't do that.
Game is tied at 27.
Nice pass.
Newman, 2.
He even waited and said, come over here and get it. That's how long it took to get that ball in there and how wide open he was. That was a shot, a rocket, and thrown in there with 2 hands that time.
Boylan leading by a pair. At one time, Niles Notre Dame was down by 7 in this game. They were very patient, worked their way back to a 1-point deficit at halftime, and that's going to be a foul on Nate Bronski. He's the leading scorer for Notre Dame, and that's his 3rd personal foul.
I like to see and how many, if we can keep a stat, and I know it's hard to ask, how many times that Boylan have gotten their hands on that basketball by way of deflection or just knocking it out of the hands, and at the same time watching Notre Dame retrieve a lot of it.
What is it? It's Phil Jackson and the Bulls, right, Norm, that count touches on defense?
Yes.
They want to have a certain amount of touches, whether it be deflected passes, blocks, steals, whatever.
But that means your body's moving, you're in the passing lanes, and you're anticipating to play your game of defense, which Phil harps on and is a key point. One of the key ingredients that Tony Kukoc brings to the table is that type of ball game, and when it's a wide open game.
And now Nate Bronski has picked up his 4th personal foul. So the leading scorer for Niles Notre Dame is going to go to the bench, and he's going to go there for quite a while because we've got 5:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Kevin McConey comes into the game.
Considering how aggressive and how he approaches the game, that was dangerous just going into this second half, starting him to begin with.
Zachary is still scoreless in this game, Norm. He's a 77% free throw shooter. He's averaging 21 points a game, but he has yet to score in this contest.
So often, so many times, you get big games. I don't care what level you're on, the stars or the people you're supposed to go to, sometimes just don't get the job done by way of the stats and all those particular things. And someone always steps up and takes over. That's what championship is all about, just the unknown.
And one of the reasons why, Norm, is because the defenses are geared to stop those stars. So that's why you have to have your role players move up and accept a responsibility to come in and get some points if you're going to win a championship. Pike had it knocked away by Zachary. Ball goes out of bounds.
Another one of those deflected pass. I'm telling you, that is just good defense and quick hands, and doing it without the whole team getting in foul trouble. As you have a couple guys getting in foul. Most of the fouls called have not been reaching fouls either.
5:14 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Boylan leads it by 3. You're right. Zachary made that play. Now on the other end, can he get 2? Yes.
Another deflection, another turnover. And they are so quick in going after that ball with their hands. All of them. Not 1 or 2 guys. Everybody on this team.
Boylan has a 5-point lead. Niles Notre Dame at another one of those points in the game. They need a score here. Green turns and flipped it up over Hobson. But Hobson a little over-aggressive as he tried to play defense, and he's going to get tagged with the foul. Check that. The foul is going to be Nicholas Zachary. That's his 2nd.
You see the replay, a little penetration to the hoop, and it was a push behind because, I tell you what, Boylan's actually going after every shot that's going up there. And I saw one thing at halftime, a major adjustment, is this Pike is being guarded a lot closer and a lot tougher than he was the first half because he's making things happen. And there's a different attitude and approach to guarding this guy this second half.
Now here's another big part of the game for Denny Zelasco and the Dons from Notre Dame. Free throw shooting. Green is the only player for the Dons to shoot a free throw in this game.
No one's going to the line that often, I can tell you that. What is a Don, by the way?
Don is I'll tell you in a minute after we figure out where the ball's going here. Clancy brings it down the floor.
They're running. Both teams are running.
Pike for 3. That one on the money and good. Pike with his 3rd three-pointer of the game. 32-31. Boylan has the lead.
You get him open. He's popping. Someone's open to the left side.
That thing was on the money all the way.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Zachary had no points in the first half. He's got 6 here in the second.
Soft touch, and I tell you what, they've got him involved in the offense, or he put himself back in the offense, and he's looking to score right now. But I tell you what he's doing right now. His key situation is playing some defense on his Pike.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Norm, Don is a name for a matador, if I am correct. Turnover. Notre Dame gets it. Well, they had it for a second.
Another deflected pass.
Barbara playing tough, got it. Now Zachary with the ball. He's been heating up a little bit. He'll take another 3. That's good.
He's on
the money all the way.
And that was the NBA three-pointer there, my friend. That was from downtown Chicago on Huron and Clark, believe me.
Well, Mom, Zachary, you ought to be proud because your son's heating it up. Notre Dame trailing. Norm, something I like to see. Zachary hit a 3 the previous trip. He comes down the floor and jacks one up right away.
No doubt about it. He feels it. He's on. And like I said, that's beyond the arc of out there where the NBA shoots theirs. And this young kid is tough. And I tell you, look at that body on this man. Starting linebacker.
Starting running back, Norm, for the Boylan football team.
Fullback or just a plain old running back?
Plain old running back.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Boylan has built up a 7-point lead here in the last 2:50.
This is a danger point for Notre Dame. They got to come down and maintain and get a decent shot within the system.
They were down by 7 in the first half. They got a 3-pointer, and then they played defense the rest of the quarter, and they held Rockford Boylan to 10 points in the second stanza. And now away from the ball, we get a foul call. Hobson was in the neighborhood, and Hobson will get the foul. That's his first.
And he knew it. He got caught. He was doing something that holding on a good break. The way this team feeds and passes the ball to each other, that being Notre Dame, you got to be aware. You got to play defense without the ball with this organization.
Pike, nice catch. He's open for a 3. He'll take it. It's going on line and hit the front of the rim. Pike nearly got his own rebound, and then Green knocked it away, and Pike came up with it. Pike in the land of the Giants. Kicked it out for Jones. That 3 is way off, but I'll give him an assist on that one to McConey.
I don't know if I'm so sure that ball wasn't blocked or tipped or something there, but give him an assist, Jim, because it was a pass in his book.
It was a pass that led directly to a basket, and isn't that the definition of an assist? Green trying to keep it alive, and now Jones comes down with an inbound.
Just when you think this team is dead,
right?
They're back in the mission.
Pike, nice pass. Jones gets 2.
Pike, I like this kid.
I do too.
I'm partial to all playmakers anyway, you know that.
Well, you're partial, Norm. I think the kids that play tough.
That's all I want. Come and hustle, listen to your coach, and you know what? We'll make a ball game out of it. And you don't have to have all the talent in the world to do that. Just bring me some desire.
Boylan leads it by 3. They have the ball.
Even though talent helps.
Yeah. Yeah, talent's pretty useful.
Desire can go so far.
Zachary jumper. He missed that. Pike came down with the rebound. A 3 will tie it. Zachary is going to pick up the foul. That's his 3rd.
And I tell you what, every time that Boylan gets out in the lead and a timeout is called, the coach, Velasco, answers the bell.
Let me cut in here, Norm. That's Zachary's 4th personal foul. So now you've got Zachary averaging 21 points a game and Kripalia averaging 16 points a game sitting in the bench in foul trouble.
That's why you got your good defense.
Travel on Pike.
Good defense. Coach is a little upset, a little too much dribbling.
And Pike will go to the bench.
They're a little upset. I like the intensity my man brings to the game.
I'll tell you what, Norm, you know what we've seen here so far is we've seen 2 very well-coached teams because Rockford Boylan is up against it. They're playing against a style that is frustrating, but yet they're not getting frustrated.
Not at all. Not at all.
Turnover. Clancy came up with it. Now Green protecting the basketball. Again, a 3-pointer will tie it for Rockford Boylan.
Well, you see with both teams here the desire to come here and win a basketball game, and that's why you have a great battle going on at this particular time. It comes down to coaching, bench, play, and all those particulars that will win this basketball game.
Well, you're also seeing out of Boylan respect for their opponent because Niles Notre Dame coming in at 23-7. Jones 3-pointer, that's going to be short. Clancy got the rebound. Clancy spots up. That one won't go. Rebound pulled down by Newman. Back to the point, Norm. Boylan, even though they see their opponent 23-7, they listen to their coach and they're aware, look, it's a good basketball team or they wouldn't be here. And we've got to show them some respect because it's going to take all we've got. And so far, it's taking everything Boylan has to hold this lead in this game. Right now, they're leading by 3.
Steve Gordon's not going to allow his team to be complacent at all when they approach the games. That's why they have a winning tradition, and you don't get that by being complacent.
Now Boylan giving Notre Dame a little bit of their own medicine. They're pulling it out here. There's a minute left in the quarter. You wouldn't expect Boylan to let it run down and take the last shot, but then again,
I think they're doing that just to save the fact that we don't want anybody else in foul trouble.
Exactly.
Let's slow down, get our big boys back in the game also to, you know, get this battle going again. But at the same time, you could also be tired, Jim, and if you're going to rest any time in a basketball game, you do it offensively.
45 seconds remaining in the quarter. Nobody guarding Newman. The Notre Dame guys, fine. You want to stand out there? We'll let you stand out there.
And this is rest for both teams. Regardless of the pace that this game is going, I can understand that because this has been one hectic pace, and I know that because I can't stop talking about it.
Remember, Krupalia on the bench with 3 fouls, Zachary on the bench with 4, so Boylan getting them a little bit extra of a breather before they need to bring them back in. Kurt Varva passed up the shot. Newman has it, 15 seconds left. He goes to the baseline, he was cut out. Varva got it over to Hobson.
And Jim, this is in favor of Notre Dame, the scoring. Right
exactly.
Now.
DeMario with the ball, 5 seconds left, puts up the runner and hit it off glass.
That's a good segment of basketball right there, and it came away with 2 points. And who showed the patience that time on the offense?
Folks, we are in for a wonderful 4th quarter. Boylan still leading. Their margin is 5. Norm, the mark of a good basketball team is if they can play a variety of styles. Here, Boylan slows it down, and they end up getting 2 by being patient.
No doubt about it. And one thing about it is you have to be able to adjust, and that's what they did. And you take care of the ball. You hold it for 1 shot. You didn't get fouls on your teammates. And you didn't let the opposition get this last shot. That's just smart basketball. It filters down from being a smart coach.
Now, we got a phone call from some of the nice folks up in Niles, and they informed us that my explanation of a Don was incorrect. It pertains to Spanish nobility. And we thank the folks from, first of all, for watching and paying attention, and second of all, for making sure we get it right.
Well, I thought it was a proper name.
Don?
Yes.
Like Don Clendenin. Green gets the foul. That's his 3rd. Krupalia is back in the game. He's playing with 3 fouls. Zachary is still on the bench for Boylan with 4. Nice inbounds play. And the finish by Joe Tully, who was hot in the first half, but those are his first points in the second half.
Notre Dame fell asleep on that. That's not allowed. That is the first call of duty to not allow points in the paint. At least score from the outside when you're taking the ball out of bounds underneath the bucket.
3rd quarter, Boylan shot 75% from the field.
Wow.
As they built up their lead.
And still, I tell you what, 75%. And you shoot like that and still the lead is only 7 points.
Now, a 7-point lead once again. McConey with the jumper. That's good.
Down to 5.
I was just going to say, if they don't get a bucket this trip, I bet after we go the other way, we get a timeout. But we won't find out now.
The coach is on top of it at Notre Dame, and he's not going to let his team get too far out away from this game.
Once again, the magic number is 51 if you're an opponent of Niles Notre Dame. They are 18-0 when holding their opponent to 50 points or less. Krupalia, turnaround. Wow.
That was a nice shot, an excellent shot. And looks like traits of Michael Jordan on that one, huh?
That was sweet.
Well, you know, they're 6 points, 7 points away from that magic number 50. I've been in danger.
Nearly a steal by Newman.
They go after it. Now here's the key situation. A lot of guys have come off the bench in the game right now for Notre Dame.
Clancy hit the front of the rim. The rebound pulled down by Newman. And now a big trip for Boylan. They could bump this up to a double-digit lead if they hit a 3.
No doubt about it. You're going to have some patience right here.
Big defensive play by
Beautiful play.
He saved it out of bounds.
Play.
He knocked it off the leg of Royce Sackmaster, and what a big play by Pike.
That was reaction, strictly reaction. You see the replay right here. Deflected pass. You see so many, both teams deflecting pass. The presence to go get it, hit it off the leg without even looking. That's an outstanding basketball.
Check that. That was Bessenhofer making the play. Bessenhofer is a rarity in high school sports. He's a 4-sport athlete. He plays soccer, football, baseball. He's a shortstop that hits 410, and he plays basketball as well.
He's got these stocky shortstops around here.
Well, he was the kicker on the football team.
Now that he looks like.
Green inside, nearly had it taken away. Pike loads it up for 3. That one rolled off the front of the rim. Rebound, tipped out of bounds. Will go back to Boylan.
And I'll tell you what, Notre Dame's all of a sudden coming up with a lot of second shots at this particular time. Now, I don't know if that's due to the point that Zachary's not in there and this is happening, but I tell you what, the tide has turned when it comes to second shot opportunities or rebounds. and that keeps you right in the ball game when you're missing your jumper every now and then.
5:28 remaining in the fourth quarter. Boylan continues to lead by 7.
Good ball movement.
Kapalia, his pass knocked away by Clancy momentarily.
He wasn't awake. He should have had that basketball. That could have been 2 points for him. Once again, now, who's showing the patience? They're showing the patience right here, being Boylan.
Norm, I'm impressed at Boylan being able to show patience. That's not their game. It just shows you they're a disciplined basketball team in spite of the fact that they like to run it up and down the floor. And that time as he was going to the bucket, Roy Sackmaster got fouled on his way to the hole.
And that good patience also brought about a good inside play. As you see the replay here, penetration. Yeah, nice, beautiful pass. And a good push, but you got to come away and try to get those points. But he's on the free throw line.
And that is the 5th foul on Nate Bronski. So the leading scorer for Niles Notre Dame is out of the game.
Wow. And to have that play, it's best a person like this, let the foul go. Let the 2 points be made at this point in the game, because your star player maybe should show a little more savvy in that situation as opposed to push someone an open shot. You just back away. You know you got 4.
And Vavra is only a 21% free throw shooter.
I see basically on that one why.
The Chicago Tribune is the official newspaper of the IHSA State Championship, so pick up the Chicago Tribune for complete coverage of Illinois high school sports. Vavra misses both free throws. Green came down with the rebound. So for Niles Notre Dame, they have the ball. They're down by 7. 4:58 remaining in the fourth quarter.
It's not a real danger point, but it is a key possession to try to get something on the board for Notre Dame on this possession. And it's not the end of the world, but you need to get something.
Clancy with the ball. Pike, he's been hot. He's got 3 3-pointers in the game. This is Clancy for 3. That one wouldn't go. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Niles Notre Dame.
I tell you what, totally let that ball go out of bounds. But you had an opportunity to grab that, because you never know what the official's going to call of that. He should have grabbed that ball, but he didn't. He's lucky. The ball is in Boylan's hands.
4.5 left in the fourth quarter. Boylan leading by 7. Back in Peoria, Niles Notre Dame trailing by 7. We were talking about Bill Bessenhofer and being a kicker on the football team this year for Niles Notre Dame. He had never kicked prior to this season. He was a soccer player, so he's pretty adept at it. And he's going to work with some of the people at Maine South over the summer who tutored Brian Schmitz, the fine field goal kicker from Maine South from a couple of years ago, who's now at the University of North Carolina. And of course, many of you remember the Class 5A title game from 1995 when Brian Schmitz kicked the game-winning field goal.
Was that against Mount Carmel?
That was against Mount Carmel.
Oh, I know Lindsay. Oh, backdoor, beautiful pass. Nice play.
Joe Tully.
There's a situation you took advantage of aggressive defense and use it in your favor playing the offense. Because you know you can play so aggressively that sometimes you can use that and do it and run back doors like they just did.
This is a key possession for Niles Notre Dame, and they turn it over.
Absolutely.
A 9-point deficit. Pike just commits the foul.
And that's out of frustration. I don't think you needed to do that and put a situation on yourself with a foul at this time. Just lay back. You lost the ball. Let's just go back. But I tell you what, look at this back door. Hey, you want to come out aggressive? I got you. That's what it's all about. Moving without the basketball.
And now Boylan, an opportunity to take control of the game, where they're being patient. Krupalia nearly had it taken away in the paint. To the baseline, Sackmaster has 6 in the game, and now Boylan appears to be starting to take control.
Yes, they are. For one reason, their offense and throwing the ball away, and their defense of Boylan is really taking control, because the offense has always been there. So that defense is giving them more opportunity to get the ball in their hands to do what they're doing right now.
Boylan shooting 80% here in the second half. Green goes off glass. That one spun out. The rebound by Vavra.
It's a good no call on the official on that one, but the results, missed shot, Boylan has the ball, show their patience, make this team play defense where they can tire a little bit on offense.
Norm, in practice this week, do you suppose that Boylan worked against the slowdown and the guys actually had to learn to get this? I'll get to that in a minute. Vavra with the bucket, he gets fouled to go to the line. So Boylan had to work against this week in the last couple of days. Has that helped them offensively run and do the same thing?
Well, I would say that. At the same time, you see the replay, and I'll get to that, and there's a foul right there in the second shot. Yeah, that's a foul right there. So they got away with 2. Here's another look at it. Post low. I missed the shot. Here I come. Second shots. I told you that was going to kill this team down the stretch run, and that's exactly what's taking place right now.
This is for the magic 51st point.
All right, he got that roll. That shot it back up from 19% to 21%. A little frustration starting to show on Pike's face a little bit, like, what can we do to get back in this game? And now they hit the magic number, 51 points.
Pike into the lane, goes up, dished it off, and
another turnover.
Another turnover. Here comes Sackmaster. Bessenhofer trying to shut it off.
Now you show even more patience with a lead like this with 2:40 left. Now you don't.
Pike has it.
Played in the hands that could have taken off a minute or two with this situation.
Notre Dame down by 14. They need points. They need in a hurry. Clancy tries to help out, and 3 green shirts right there at the ball. And Bessenhofer knocked it away from Kupalia, and then Bessenhofer commits the foul. That's his first.
Not a bad situation. You're missing that shot. Now all of a sudden, hey, you know we need to go get the ball. But, however, Boylan's in the one-on-one bonus situation. And I'd say, what is it, 3 more fouls, then they shoot automatic 2. Is that how that goes? No matter what.
Yeah, they're in a 2-shot situation now.
At this particular point, free throw is a big thing as far as Boylan's concerned to spread this out. But at the same time, here's where they have to be wise, Jim. They have to come down now and milk the clock a little bit. They can't just go firing away in their patented style.
Kupalia, 70% free throw shooter. He had 36 points, 9 rebounds in a win over Harlem earlier in the tournament. He's from Sarajevo. When he came over to this country a few years ago, didn't even speak any English. And his family, as you might imagine, they left the former Yugoslavia once the problems started over there with the civil war between the Serbs and the Croats. And so they came to the United States. And Kupalia playing high school hoops here in the state of Illinois. Got the clean block on the baseline that time.
Excellent block.
Danny DeMario with the ball. 15-point lead for Rockford Boylan.
Right now, the clock is more important than points.
Right. Exactly.
But when you get fouled like this, you've got to go up to the free throw line and make it. But an excellent block. When you hustle back, you get back, and you get there, and the height advantage, leaped away from the body, just reached in with his hand and blocked. Great effort by the Notre Dame team, and I don't want to, at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, to take away the game already, but this is going to be very difficult to come back on this.
Danny DeMario hits the free throw. It's a 13-2 run for Boylan over the last 3:10, and maybe losing Bronski was maybe a little bit too much for Notre Dame to overcome, although he had 8 points in the game. They had all come in the first half before he fouled out.
Well, no doubt about it. That, along with turnovers, and the second shots definitely led to what's going on right now for Notre Dame.
Pike got a man off his feet, went to the baseline, and it's an offensive foul on Pike. That's going to be number 3 on him. Before the game, before the practices yesterday, I talked to Steve Gores, the coach at Rockford Boylan, as you look at the replay, and I asked him about being in the upper half of the bracket where most high school basketball fans in the state of Illinois are paying virtually no attention to. And his response was, that's fine. No problem.
No doubt about it.
Because they know they've got a good basketball team, and it certainly appears that they're going to get an opportunity to play on Saturday in the Class AA tournament.
Well, you get some impressed viewers at this particular time because they played well, they adjusted well, they shot well, they hustled, they moved, they deflected more passes. And I've seen in a long time they did it basically in the whole second half without their star, Zachary, who's back in the game right now. And they played well.
How good of a sign is it, Norm, that you can really have your 2 big point scores not going well today because they were in foul trouble, but yet you're still going to win the game?
Anytime you have championship caliber basketball or anything in any sport, you always have to rely on some unknown or someone coming off that bench to do the job. Because like you said, the marquee ball players are usually set up to play defense against or whatever it is, and at times they don't answer the bell, and someone else has got to step up and do the job.
Well, Boylan has certainly given Niles Notre Dame a taste of their own medicine in this one. Kupalia goes down the lane. Finger roll wouldn't go, but the tip did.
And that's what that is. If you mark down, you sit down after this game and go over a scout report. Why did I get beat? Second shots from Boylan killed, annihilated Notre Dame. You just can't do that game all long and expect to win a basketball game.
Bessenhofer, 3-pointer, that's good. His first points of the game, and Denny Zalasko wanted a timeout but didn't get it before the ball was inbounded. That foul will be charged to number 24, Eric Schonecker.
You know, Jim, when you really look at this and the way the approach to the game, Boylan quietly got that big lead. And they just run away in their impressed style of getting up and down the court. They just quietly pecked away. The next thing you looked up, they had a 15, 16-point lead.
Our Wendy's player of the game is Joe Tully. He came out smoking in the first quarter. 17 points right now, so Joe Tully is our player of the game.
I'll tell you what he has done, too. He's at inside and outside with his points. He hit a couple jumpers, and he took some beautiful baseline moves to go to the rack and get some of those points he had.
Yeah, Joe Tully certainly did it for his team, the 6'2 sophomore. And Danny DeMario, one of the seniors on the team, and now Steve Gore's doing what every coach should do when he gets the opportunity, and that is get all the younger guys into the game and give them a chance to play in the state tournament. He's changing up practically everybody except for the shooter.
And Jim, I said earlier in the game, I'm not so sure if Notre Dame shouldn't have just really stuck to what got him here. Really slow that ball down and not even play the pace at any opportune time against Boylan. I think you should have slowed it down and just really brought about come and get it, because we're not going to run with it.
You're looking at Luke Yannel for Niles Notre Dame, just checked into the game, and he came up to me yesterday at the practice and said, I'm the only Blackhawks fan in this entire team, and I love watching the Blackhawks. So I said, all right, my man, I'll make sure I take care of you. Although he's disappointed because the Hawks lost 4-2 last night to Anaheim.
And a lot of people, I tell you what, I listened in on the Score radio show today a little bit, talking to Mike North and the fellas, and I'm telling you something. A lot of disappointed fans for the Chicago Blackhawks at this particular time.
Chris Harvey, a 6'2 sophomore, he gets into the scorebook. And Rockford Boylan looks like they will advance. They will play the winner of our next game coming up, which is West Aurora. They'll be taking on Mount Vernon in another one of the games where, Norm, I don't think people are showing a lot of respect. And I'm not pinning it on anybody in particular. I'm just talking about the buzz we're hearing in Peoria. Not too many people are talking about Boylan. Not very many people are talking about Mount Vernon. Not too many people are talking about Aurora West.
Well, Jim, that's a natural little take, because when you got the two teams and then Manly, Peoria, coming up, and you got the teams coming out of Chicago, Thornton, you have a tendency to talk about the big boys that's been around. So these other schools understand that. They understand that. It's just a matter of their hair.
Bessenhofer down the lane. He misses the layup, and the rebound is pulled down by Adam Ottaviano.
They have not stopped hustling, I can tell you that.
Schoenecker, his three-pointer wouldn't go. Rebound pulled down and cleared out of there by Jeff Myers, and that's going to do it. Rockford Boylan, just a great job of being patient, taking what was given to them, and certainly not their type of game as far as the score is concerned. But what a great job of coaching and a great job of listening by Rockford Boylan.
Outstanding. And both teams played hard. Both teams played tough. Both teams were well coached. I just got to lean toward the talent level of what Boylan brings to the table and their approach. And I don't think Notre Dame at one point realized that they can really keep up with this team by way of the fast-paced game.
Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Coach, you've said that your team really has no pace, but today you showed us you can play two distinctive styles. At times you really slowed the game down yourself.
Yes, we did. I think we were a little bit forced into it with Kripali and Zachary and foul problems to get very selective with our shooting. And we got the lead and everything. I thought Danny DeMario was a big key to the game, our backup point guard coming in, and did an outstanding job for Nick.
And that's another sign of a good team when you have two of your stars that are sitting on the bench for a majority of the game.
It sure is. For us, when I said at halftime to kids, we're winning by 1 point in a Elite 8 game, and our two leading scorers average 21 and 16, have 2 points between them. So I thought, I says, hey, it's going to get better the second half, all right?
Well, that was a nice look you gave me there. A little bit of concern, but you're going to watch this game in the second half of the game, and good luck to you tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you very much.
Jim, back to you.
Thank you, Yvonne. And our Pepsi play of the game, Nicholas Zachary had come down and made a three-pointer. Remember, he had no points in the opening half. Well, the next time he came down the floor, he took an NBA three, nailed that down as well. Zachary only 9 points in the game. But as you just heard Steve Gore say, the leading scorers didn't score that much, but everybody else picked it up. And as a result, Boylan heading to the semifinals. Norm and I will wrap it up right after this.
Mike. Hi, Bob. How are you? Bob, we're going to preview the next game. You all right with that?
Well, one thing about this tournament, and anytime you're going for a championship, you have to make adjustments. And I was quite surprised that Notre Dame continued to try to run with Boylan, but at the same time, Boylan showed the patience when they had to. It made Notre Dame come out and play defense, hit some crucial shots, even without their superstar being Zachary.
So Boylan tomorrow in the semifinals will play the winner of our next game, which is Aurora West coming up against Mount Vernon. We'll have that game coming up in a little bit, but right now let's go to Steve Cashel and the March Madness Experience. Our final score, Rockford. 48, Notre Dame 40.
All right, Steve Cashel back with you. Game 1 now in the books. We're at the exhibition hall. Still hundreds of people here taking in the March Madness experience. Pretty good game in Game 1 as we saw Rockford Boylan win going away after just being a one-point game at halftime. Coming up here in our next segments, folks, we're going to hear from Norm Van Leer and go through highlights of Game 1. Also, Bob Sakamoto on. He is the high school writer from the Chicago Tribune. Also hear from Eric Collins. We'll take a closer look at the March Madness experience. You're watching the IHSA Boys Class AA Basketball Championships here on Sports Channel. And we'll continue with more from Peoria right after this.
I always tell them to go out there, relax, and have fun at the same time, because this is something you'll always remember. It's something I always remember and always cherish, and you don't want to go in and after the game, if you lose, think about that you didn't give it your all, because you might not have the opportunity again. So just take advantage of that opportunity and give it your best, and hopefully you become champion.
Underground. Your Sunday nights will never be the same. Bull Sox Underground captivates fans with behind-the-scenes access to your favorite teams that you simply can't get anywhere else. Join host Tom Waddle for the most entertaining half hour of sports in Chicago. Bull Sox Underground serves up the sights and sounds.
That's why they call the show behind the show.
Underground. Bull Sox Underground, Sunday night at 7.
And don't forget, after tonight's game, we'll have our British Airways Michael Jordan Insight.
Luke.
All right, thank you very much. Turning over a number of turnovers in the 32 points. Hey, Jordan is inside. He got some treatment from trainer Chip Schaefer. And who was that did that, Tom?
It was Scotty. It was Scotty.
Back at Carver Arena inside the Peoria Civic Center. Game 1 in the books. Notre Dame loses to Rockford Boylan. Notre Dame ending their season at 23-8. Boylan improving to 31-2, and they'll wait to take on the winner of Mount Vernon West Aurora in Game 2 coming up in about 15 minutes from now. You look at inside the exhibition hall here at the March Madness experience. Having a lot of fun here. As we said, we've got hundreds of people just taking in the March Madness experience right next to Carver Arena here. Great thing that the people in Peoria have put on here in their second year of hosting the IHSA Boys Basketball Championships. Eric Collins has a closer look at one of the exhibits. Let's go over to Eric right now.
Thanks, Steve. We're hanging out here at March Madness, the exhibit right outside the Carver Arena. With the free throw shooting nest right over here. First shot from me. Well, we didn't start things very well, but we'll see how everyone else is shooting. Let's go to the end of the line over here. Let's go to the first man over here. We got a small guy. Oh, I think this guy's name is Clayton. We've heard about you, Clayton. Let's see your shot. First of all, we'll see one shot, then we want to talk to you. We especially want to talk to you if you make it. Oh, you were 6 for 6 a moment ago, Clayton. Congratulations. Where are you from?
Ina.
You're from where?
Ina.
You're from Ina? What are you doing down here?
We came to watch the cheerleaders.
Watch the cheerleaders? You're kind of young for a statement like that.
No, my cousin.
Oh, your cousin's on the cheerleading team. All right, but you can shoot. Where'd you learn how to shoot like that?
I don't know.
All right, with an answer like that, we need to see you shoot another shot. Can we get one more shot for Clayton? Come on, Clayton. Come on. Oh, not bad at all, though. Okay, all right. Let's keep going, folks. All right, we got another shooter over here. We got a lefty. The dip, the flip. Good stroke. Good pressure stroke. What's your name?
Matt, bro.
Matt?
Bro.
Matt, where are you from?
I'm from Woodruff High School.
Woodruff High School. Where's that?
That's it's here in Peoria.
All right. And you're here just to shoot free throws, or are you helping out, or you're watching games, or what?
I'm volunteering.
Volunteering. Yeah. All right. Well, let's volunteer us up a shot right now. See what you got. All right. You've made 1 for 1. A lefty. Dips. Flips. Just a shade off. Not bad. Not bad at all, though. All right. We have another shooter here. Let's see the shot, first of all. Shot just a little bit shy of the mark. What's your name, ma'am?
Lydia Navarre.
What's your name?
Lydia.
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 Nydia. Where you from, Nydia?
West Aurora.
West Aurora? Oh, so you're here to watch your team?
Yep.
Are they going to win? They got a tough game.
Nah, they got it.
You got it?
Yep.
All right, well, you're going to have to prove it to me. Line doesn't lie. Let's see a free throw here. That's it. This is for West Aurora. This is for the Blackhawks. This is the last one we're going to get a chance to see, Nydia. Oh, not bad, not bad. We'll wish you all the best of luck, okay? We'll see you later. Cash, we're going to send it back to you. Take it over, bud.
I will, Eric. Thanks a lot. It's a lot of fun for all ages, for the kids. I mean, the little ones. We've got a playground right here, and each of the different things is sponsored by the various companies, sponsors of the IHSA. Also have computers out here, something the adults can work on. Also have the slam dunk area, three-point court. You saw the three-throw challenge. We also have bank shot basketball. And you can also win a car by guessing how many basketballs are in a Chevrolet Malibu, and they're going to be doing that contest each day, and the winner is going to eventually shoot free throws for the car by the time tomorrow night rolls around and we crown a champion for 1997. Coming up, it's going to be game 2. We're talking about Mount Vernon taking on West Aurora. When we come back, a preview from our second play-by-play team, Tom Dorr and David Kaplan. Stay with us. Boylan wins game 1 over Notre Dame by a final of 58-40. Game 2 coming up shortly.